Hello everyone and welcome to Devlog 12. I have some news before I start this devlog. The first thing is that I am living in Missouri now. I moved all the way from Michigan to Missouri to live with my girlfriend, so that's kind of why I've been gone lately. And obviously I took a little bit of time to settle in, but that doesn't mean I haven't been working on my game. I have a lot of progress that I want to show you guys, but due to issues like my microphone needing a new stand, and then I got a new stand, and I realized that the cord for my microphone got damaged during the transit, so I had to get a new cord. There was just a lot of stuff that was going on. My other piece of news is that this is the first devlog that the patrons get to see first. Patrons get to see videos a day before they come out for everybody else. It's just a little bit of a reward and an incentive to get people to become a patron. Speaking of patrons, I'm actually writing a short story for my patrons on Patreon called A Man and His Bird. It's going to be a story that is a backstory to a character that's going to be in Lunal Lane further on in the story. His name is Clint, and I think you'll like it. I'm going to do a little teaser that anyone is allowed to read for free, but if you want to read the rest of it, you'll have to become a patron to read it. I'm really doubling down on giving benefits to patrons, and I'm trying to make sure that the money that they are spending is going to a place where they're getting good returns. With that out of the way, welcome to Devlog 12! Today we're going to be talking about the new UI, the new Lunapon Store, the new Lunapon card system, and the new combat and mana? We're going to kick this video off by showing you what you guys are used to, the old Lunapon Store. So the old Lunapon Store was kind of ugly. You had to spend 5 Lunapon points and you could get a card. The cards weren't really that descriptive. They were kind of ugly. A lot of the art was really ugly. And it was clunky because you had to get the card and then you'd have to exit the menu, go into a different menu in order to use the card. After you did that, you would have to wait for a cooldown before you could actually activate the ability. Once you activated the ability, you would have to wait for another cooldown in order to use the ability again, and this system sucked. People didn't like it, people didn't use it, and people didn't see the point. It was pretty much a gimmick, and I don't want any of the game mechanics in my game to feel like a gimmick. I want it to feel like they all stand their ground and they all are incorporated into the game, and it's something that you're like, yeah, this makes sense. Hopping over to the current build of the game, you can see that Lunapon Store actually looks differently. It's now sort of like a stand, and I actually want somebody to stand behind it and be like a little shopkeeper. I think that would be pretty cool. Going inside the store, you can see a major change. There's now a buy button and equip button, some previews over on the left. When you click the buy button, the card flips over and it shows you the card that you got. Now, I know you guys are going to be excited for this. Now, there is a buy again button, so you don't have to exit the menu and go back in to buy again. You can see that on the left, it shows you the cards that you've already received, so you know if you've gotten all the cards or not. This new Lunapon Store costs 3 Lunapon points in order to buy anything. Once you get all the cards, you don't have to worry about going out of the menu and then going into the cards menu, because there is now a equip button. Pressing that equip button will instantly take you to the new card menu. Now there's a lot going on in this new menu. You get to select your cards up on the top. Now you see primary and secondary buttons. This was a change that I made because some cards, for instance the wooden sword card, are more of a offensive card, but some cards like the jelly card are more of a defensive card. And going into a menu to switch between a card just for a defensive purpose kind of sucks, so I came up with the idea of having a primary and secondary card able to be equipped at any given time. If you look now on the bottom right hand corner of the screen, it shows you what card you have equipped currently, and if you want to switch between those cards, you just have to press the Q button and it'll hot swap between the 2 cards that you have selected. Let me address a few of the other things you're seeing right here. Yes, those are new and updated backgrounds. They're still a work in progress, but I am working on it. And you are seeing the brand new UI. You can see there's a new health bar, which now is 5 out of 5. You now start off with 5 health instead of 3. And you can see below that there is a mana bar. You start off with 10 for your maximum amount of mana. To increase your mana, you're going to have to find mana bottles, which are hidden behind secret walls in hidden areas. Each card has a certain amount of mana that it requires to use. You can only activate a card if you have enough mana to use it. If you want more mana, you're going to have to kill enemies. It's a random drop from enemies, but some enemies give you more, some enemies give you less, some enemies it's more common, some enemies it's less common. Now that you know all of that, let's do a rundown of the cards and the changes that I made to them. The first card is the Wooden Sword card. This is a great starter card. It only costs 2 mana and it does 2 damage to an enemy in front of you. It is a fixed distance, so it takes a couple uses to figure out the exact distance, but once you get a hang of it, it's a really, really good card. The second card you guys are all familiar with, but it's a bit different. It's going to cost you 3 mana to use it, and what it does is it creates a shield around your character that if you're hit by a projectile, it will absorb the projectile and destroy it. If you are at full health, it'll just destroy the projectile and you just were saved from projectile. If you are not at full health, it will actually heal you for 1 health when you absorb that projectile. The last card is another card that you're familiar with, and it is the Cloche card. It's pretty similar to the last time you've seen it, but now it costs 2 mana and it actually does 2 damage to enemies. At this point you're probably thinking, why do these do different amounts of damage? And that is because I've actually changed the health of each enemy. Having each enemy die in 1 hit made the boomerang extremely overpowered, and it also made the game a lot less fun. Using the cards wasn't really necessary because who cares if you did damage if the boomerang already does max damage. So I changed the health for each of the enemies, and that is also why I tweaked the health from the main character, so you can take a few more hits, but the enemies also take a few more hits as well. A quality of life improvement that I added in this update is that now you can see when an enemy is shielding. A little icon will pop up when you hit an enemy that you aren't doing any damage to, and that's because certain enemies like the Divine and also the Cloche can be shielded. The Divine is shielded when he is falling from up top to the ground, and the Cloche is shielding obviously when it's hiding inside the Cloche. This video was super fun to make. I've been waiting for so long to tell you guys all these new changes, and I have so many other things, as you can see, like those backgrounds and all of this new art stuff that I've been wanting to show you guys. If you guys like it, please like the video and tell me what you think about these new changes, if you think they're going to help the game or hinder it. Please check out the Patreon if you guys want to support me and help continue Lunal Lane and just to help me out as a person. That is going to do it for this devlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you in the next devlog.